Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Kathy Johnson, and I would like to introduce Mo Cheeks, running for Madison Mayor. As we begin, I'd like you to give an opening statement as to your educational, vocational, and civic experience you have, which qualifies you for this office, and why you're running for mayor.
Thank you, Kathy. I love Madison. This is a phenomenal city to live in and to raise a family in. And we know that the reality is that that isn't a shared experience for everyone in this city. In fact, disproportionately, that's not the experience of folks that look like me. I'm running for mayor of Madison to ensure that we take on head-on this challenge, this persistent reputation that we've developed as a tale of two cities. I'm running for mayor to ensure that this city becomes a more inclusive, more innovative, more safe city for everyone who calls this place home. Growing up the oldest of three boys in a union household, my parents and my father really taught me two important life lessons. The importance of hard work, and the importance of the reality that in order to get anything meaningful done in our community, we have to be able to work together. And so as an alder on the Madison City Council for the past 6 years, representing the most diverse district in our city, as a minority business leader in this city, as an advocate for our kids and a past tutor in our schools, and as a father, this is really personal to me. Madison needs a mayor that has a sense of urgency to address the growing inequality in our city and is going to work collaboratively to bring us together to ensure that the prosperity that we're experiencing here continues to grow and be afforded to more people. And I'm ready for that job.
Lack of affordable housing and the pressure it brings to the issue of homelessness is a chronic problem that Madison cannot seem to get ahead of. What new ideas can you advance to help address this issue?
So housing affordability is something that I hear about from not only folks in my district, but all across the city of Madison. And as I've been running for mayor, this is one of the most common concerns people bring up. The reality is, as our city continues to grow, we need to ensure that we're investing in supporting housing, development of housing that is affordable across the entirety of the spectrum of folks' lived experiences in Madison. So a couple specific ways that I'm going to ensure that we're doing that is, as mayor, I'm going to double the Affordable Housing Fund and increase our city's emphasis on workforce affordable housing, because too many teachers and firefighters and working class families are finding themselves priced out of the city of Madison or and moving to suburbs. The other is supporting the development of additional housing in our community by ensuring that the bureaucracy, the process of development of housing in our city is just a little bit easier, that it's a little bit more predictable, so that so that we can save some of the cost, so that developers can save some of their cost and share that savings with our community. It needs to be possible that we can develop housing quickly and affordably. And as our community is going to continue to grow and diversify, we are anticipating a need for 1,600 units every year. And we need to be ambitious about the way that we can support that happening.
There's been discussion of the policies and procedures of the Madison Police Department. What is your perspective on whether any changes are needed in ways Madison police operate in our community?
That's a phenomenal question. So as an alder on the City Council, I was an advocate and supporter of the investment that the council made into reviewing police policy and procedures. And I've been really pleased with the report so far. Obviously, I'm waiting for the committee to make their sort of final recommendations, but so far I think it's going to be really important that we ensure that our community feels at the table for decisions that the police department's making. I think one of the most important is, frankly, the use of force of our police department. We need to be setting an extremely high bar. We should be a model city across the nation for how we can prioritize human life when we're looking at the ways that police are engaging with the public in any situation. That said, we need to continue to support good community policing. As an alder on the west side, I supported the development of the Midtown Police Station because we need to have the capacity for strong detective work and good policing work that's going to be able to be responsive to the needs of our community.
Many residents perceive Madison to be a divided city, one in which people of color are less likely to thrive than are whites. Do you share this perception? And if so, what would you do to address the division?
So, of course, I share the perspective, right? It's sort of opened by describing that. But I think the really good news in our community is that we're a city of doers. We have a great amount of energy in our community, of folks who want to be a part of the solution. And we're operating from a position of strength as a community that is prospering, experiencing prosperity. We have the opportunity to create upward mobility. And so as mayor, one of my priorities is going to be making sure that we are creating a comprehensive sort of cradle to career pipeline so that no matter what neighborhood you come from, no matter what your racial or ethnic or any other background is, you know that you're living in a city that sets a high bar for families, for economic success, and you know that your kids are going to be able to be successful here. One of the things we're going to have to do is invest in employment or supporting summer youth employment, mentorship for families, and ensuring that young people, starting at the earliest ages, have programs that are going to support them being successful in the future. One specific one that I'm thinking of is, as mayor, I'm going to implement a college savings account program so that on first day of kindergarten, every student will, in our public schools will have a college savings account. There's great research that shows that that sort of thing, that a kid with regardless of their background, a young person with a child with a college savings account at a young age, it's 3 times more likely to go to college, 4 times more likely to graduate from college. These are the sort of systemic changes that we need to be making as a city. By the way, there's private funding that will support that won't be taxpayer funded.
What are the issues that need to be considered as tax incremental financing districts are reconceptualized?
That's an awesome question. So one of the things that we did on the City Council is redefine the purpose of tax incremental financing. We did this in 2014, and I think one of the strongest outcomes is ensuring that it is supporting, that one of the priorities of TIF is to support affordable housing. I think because of our city working to align TIF with our values, we're in a pretty good position to be able to use TIF strategically. Likewise, I think TIF obviously can be used to support our values in ensuring that employers are committing to a certain level of job or a certain level of diversity of employment. That's going to be important as our community continues to grow and diversify. One of the wrinkles or opportunities that we have yet to explore as a community is the impact of opportunity zones as a new federal taxing system that could make developers think differently or investors think differently about whether or not they want to develop in an opportunity zone or if they want to pursue TIF funding and how that might be different. This is a new federal program that I won't take the time to explain to your viewers, but opportunity zones are probably going to change the way we think about TIF in this community.
With the growth and spread of the population in Dane County, Madison, what are the issues that most require cooperation with the Dane County Executive and Board?
That's an awesome question. So as mayor, one of the most important things that we do is think long-term about the future of our community. And as we think long-term about the future of our community and set a tone, obviously the city and the county have overlapping jurisdiction. I think some of the most important things that our overlapping jurisdiction is going to require attention on is how we protect our environment and keep our lakes safe, how we think about the future of transportation, right? So one of the things we're talking a lot about in our community is bus rapid transit and regional transportation, which begets the question, is that, how is the city and surrounding communities and the county going to work together to ensure that we're developing a regional transportation system that's going to support the growth of not only Madison, but the growth that's going to continue to happen in Dane County, the population growth and the job growth and business growth.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
This is an exciting time in Madison. As our community continues to grow and diversify, I'm heartened by the number of Madisonians that recognize in this moment in time we have an opportunity to set a high bar for what a progressive community looks like in this country. And as mayor, I'm excited to work alongside our community to build a more inclusive, more innovative, more safe community where more people feel like they have a seat at the table. And in doing that, I believe Madison absolutely has the opportunity to live up to our ability to be a national leader, but also, frankly, we have the opportunity to live up to our own values as a progressive city here.
I want to thank Mo Cheeks for speaking with us and the viewing audience for taking the time to know your candidates. As with every election, please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.